So that's the reason if you see the poster carefully, I mean the first poster where Abhay Deol is in the glares and you see him as a bareback as a reflection, and you see the huge lips on his face, which is very glossy, very shiny, and very like jittering. It is so. The idea was that he always was into the beauty side of a female rather than the true love.
When we speak precisely about poster design,
Yeah.
what kind of brief are you given? Are you given? Are you called to the set and exposed to the stills taken, or are you screened the film, or the director speaks about the film? What is it that you get?
It's very difficult to put down a finger on a particular, reason that how I get a brief, because most of the time, yes, they if the set is so huge and so gigantic and so in terms of unique, yes, they
Mhm.
call me over there to have a look at it, so I understand the scale and the largeness of the film. B, I will also meet all the star cast and understand that how the story is all about, who's playing what. But most of the time, in like today's time, the time is the key. So I mean, most of the time I get a link of that particular show to watch as a preview with the watermark.
Mhm.
So I will get a gist of it, or they send me a two-pager synopsis, which is the outline of the story. So
Mhm.
like this is the overall plot. These two to three characters are the main lead characters in our film, and then yes, in the detail of that synopsis, they provide us a character sketch. Also, there are cases where they have shared the entire narration of the film on an audio clip. That
Mhm.
if you have time, just go through the entire narration and understand the story. Like what are the twists? Like what was what's the message they wanted to pass by the film, like through the audience. So it depends. I mean, how timelines are concerned, because mostly in a person like me who's associated for the design, we enter either the half of the film has been shot,
Mhm.
or the completely the shooting is done, and then post we has been approached that okay, now we need to decide the timeline for release, and also now we need to design the packaging. So
Okay.
that's how. Yeah.
Once that is done, once the brief is received, what is your next step? What are the various elements of a poster design that go into it? What do you do? You begin with a picture, you take out single out a picture, and maybe captions or something, some quote or some dialogue. What are the various elements of a poster design that you focus upon? What's the raw material?
See, there is a process to even think of a concept for poster, because in the film, lot of things are involved. Storytelling is there, then also the characterization is there. Also, there are major twists which will bring some roller coaster ride to the audience while they watch the show or a film. So, first of all, I need to understand which are the key pointers which can have a capacity to turn that element into a poster or use that element into a poster.
Mhm.
Now, for example, I'll give you an example of my recent work which I have done for Sony Live.
Mhm.
Like there's a web series on a Sony Live app called Tabar, Tabbar. It's called Tabar.
Mhm.
So now the story is based in Punjab, and it's about a family who accidentally get trapped into a murder, and then
Mhm.
that's how that after that murder, how the family survives, how the father take a stand to protect the family. So now for this thing, they have provided me the show link, and I've gone through all of them. So the very basic first step is to understand which are the elements, the key elements of the show or a film. So I just make a list of that, and then I see now how many faces is required to promote this show. So sometimes if the faces are bigger, I'll have to keep that in mind and work. Sometimes the faces are small, but the story is demanding to show a particular character. So I'll have to figure out that, and then I start building a concept on a very scratch level. So I doodle it, I scribble, then I bounce back ideas with my self and my team, that as an audience, if I see this kind of a design, how does it make, I mean, what message is it conveying. So post that, I have to filter all those ideas and come up with 2 to 3 strong concepts, which I'll have to sketch in a detail, and then I'll have to approach to the client that these are the directions or approaches which we can explore, and then post that we figure out that how we want to go about it. Are you providing me the data of the show in terms of a stills or a continuity stills? Are we open for the shoot? Because based on that, I can also elaborate and evolve my ideas on a next level.
But when you
Yeah,
when you talk about a film like Devdi, now Devdi
hmm.
was a very dark comedy, and most of the film sequences were dark, you know, and finding that singular moment which could describe the character or the character's mindset or the film's
Yeah.
theme must have been a challenge.
It
How did you create the
was
poster of Devdi?
okay. Devdi was the dream brief for any creative person who is into design industry, because Anurag Kashyap haven't given us any particular brief or something, but yes, we have got a brief from UTV that it's a remake of Devdas.
Mhm,
So I understood that, and they also said that, but it has a feel of lust.
mhm,
In the actual Devdas, it was pure, out and out, a story of a romance of a true love or a true lover who is waiting, and finally, while waiting only, he give up and he dies because he was
mhm,
into drinking and all that. But in this story, the character of Devdas, which is played by Abha Deval, he was very rebellious. He was not like the actual original Devdas. He was the one
mhm,
who can answer back. And also the Paro character, which is Mahi Gill, she was also like very loud and very clear in the original Devdas. If you see, so Paro cannot even came to Devdas and try to communicate what has to be communicated. But over here, yes, she can come and, I mean, take a leap and also like give and abuse him also, like what he did for. So Devdas was completely new age story which they have
mhm,
re-explored. Also the location, also, so the only essence of the Devdas was the name of the characters, and also the main story of a Devdas, that why he got into drugs and drinking and he completely lost himself, a track from the life,
mhm,
was only because of love. But here it was love plus lust. So it
mhm,
was not only love. So that's the reason, if you see the poster carefully, I mean, the first poster, where Abhay Deval is in the glares, and you see him as a bareback, as a reflection, and you see the huge lips on his face, which is very glossy, very shiny, and very like jittering. It is so. The idea was that he always was into the beauty side of a female rather than the true love. So he was more into that physical aspect. Yeah. So that was the reason I have shown it. But I was also thinking that it should not look very cheesy, very cheap at the same time, and it should not look like that it's a B grade film. So it was a challenge for me to maintain the emotions value of Abhay Deol and the characters. Yet it should look very abstract in a way, because in this film they have taken lot of way out of box liberties to give justify to the characteristic. So, and yes, third, it should attract youth, because if you consider all the hard rock albums, all the music album of since Pink Floyd and Black Panther and all that, so all those were very out of box, very abstract, and at the
mhm.
same time it was very eye catching and very strong recall value. So I thought that let me crack something where I can show Abhay Deol with huge lips, and I think that will do the job, and it actually has does. I mean, a lot of people are still remember it, that
Did,
poster,
did,
that
did.
it was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.